There is a divide in the Elden Ring community between, on the one hand, those who believe that PvP is a secondary and therefore inferior element to PvE, and on the other, those who take pride in knowing that the niche community of Souls PvP is one of the most unique and refreshing gaming experiences that exist today. I've never quite understood the divide, and in spite of its well-documented myriad of problems, Elden Ring PvP is the next step in the evolution of a gaming concept that remains revolutionary 15 years after its inception. I myself was once a fearful play offline gamer, dreading the notion of having my precious souls sucked down the drain by some sadistic invader. But after experiencing the thrills of taking my cute build into brawls against other players, I was hooked. Let's consider for a moment the nature of From Software games. The nature of these games is to teach you through struggle and tribulation. So why do so many people choose to shun what is the most demanding and gratifying parts of these games? Why did Miyazaki put the bad red man in my open world RPG? Because the strongest manifestation of the get good mentality exists in the PvP community. To go beyond killing bosses, to kill the player who is the boss. You want to hunt the most dangerous game. The game wants you to fail, and it wants you to fail against other players. But to be good at invading, that's another cleric beast entirely. It's natural to wonder why anybody would want to endure the type of suffering you incur in order to be even casually competent at invasions. It's natural to wonder why anyone would want to spawn into a 3v1 where Rot Breath visually blocks some Kevin's incoming power stance Naginata hit and then you get teabagged. It's natural to wonder why anyone would want to spawn into this. Whatever this is. The road is long, and the tunnel is very dark and full of particle effects. I've walked that road. I wanted the smoke. I sought the sauce. I got the sizzle. I've been teabagged by ganks more times than Redditors have been dropped rivers of blood. And as you tread the lonely path of learning to invade, after all the ganking and getting spammed and mauling, you start to see light. When there's no hope in the world, through all the teabags that are piled on top of your head, you begin to see beautiful, beautiful light. The light of victory. The light of reward. Instead of being constantly in fear, running for your life, pants on the ground, getting hacked to pieces by every random team you come across, you begin to feel the power. And then you become the bad red man. This, my friends, is a reason for gaming. I know if you hate invasions, it's not likely I'd convince you to feel otherwise. I know if you click this video, you may already be an invader. Maybe this video isn't for the forsworn enemy of invaders, over-leveled summoning, ganking, salt mail sending host or babysitter. Maybe if you're watching this, you're not sure if it's worth it to get better at invading, to change your build, or to care at all. The only reward for invasions in game are rune arcs. Is this a problem? Absolutely. But hear me out, Tarnished. As gamers, which we most certainly are, we are drawn to challenge and unique situations. And I have never played another game that had a mode that is so full of so much of both of these aspects. You can be the host's friends, you can be their enemy, you can possibly even be their lover. Because an invader is sent into a host world to offset a player versus environment advantage, in this case a cooperator, if you decide to tussle, and you will, you'll always be at a numerical disadvantage. This means as an invader, your mind is more essential than your might. You must use more than brute force or button mashing. You must use strategy. You must use cunning. You must use your wits. All the reps, building of muscle memory, studying builds, and losing. Constant losing. After a while, you just don't care about being bagged or pointed down anymore. Your skin gets thicker, you pick up a pack-a-day smoking habit, you lose yourself in Camus. Because remember what Miyazaki said, dying is supposed to be fun! The zaniness and excitement of invading is worth the pain. All the interesting level designs, unique abilities, crazy enemies, ridiculous items, and awesome weapons make every invasion a perfect little snowflake. I practice dueling a lot. Dueling requires focused skills and teaches you details about the game that you can't process in the chaos of an invasion. But in my heart of hearts, I'm an invader, and I'll never view gaming the same way. The clutch plays, near misses, last moments of escape, and infinite opportunity for monkey business all add up to PvP wars that I remember better than some of the best days of my life. The situational requirements of invasions force you to understand your own build and other people's build in a way the PvE game doesn't come close to. Invading teaches you new ways to approach the game and gives you incentive to always try new things. Patch 1.10 was a blessing to Elden Ring PvP. It fixed some outstanding issues while creating a few new ones, but overall added changes to the game that made a wide variety of setups more viable and creates a new emphasis on spacing and understanding weapon matchups that previously did not exist. While getting blended in invasions happens even quicker now than it did before, I find that understanding weapon priority in my hyper armor setups can give me advantages that I didn't have previously. Maybe I'm just learning and learning faster now, but in the old days, bullgoat sporting phantoms made small weapons damn near irrelevant without status in invasions with a few exceptions. Now more setups force respect, and there are more efficient ways to burn down a phantom in an isolated situation. The worst issue with the patch for invaders, in my opinion, is that some Ashes of War and Pew Pew spells that were balanced to not poise break have gone back to stunning every time. Moonveil, Rivers of Blood, various blue pebble spells. Going back to making fewer of the more damaging spells in Ashes of War stun is one of the biggest fixes I think FromSoft can make to balance not only invasions but PvP generally. Aside from changing unique things about weapons, the backstab adjustment was massive. I love backstabs. They were trickier to land before, and while I'm not incredible at them now, they are fun and so stylish to pull off on the new patch. It's a beautiful game with beautiful moves. I made this build just because I had never had a build with America Hammer stats as an invader. This is a level 70 Faith hard swapping build with all the fixings, but I long for even more goofy tricks. At this point, we can only try to fathom the wacky, overpowered things that will be added in the DLC. This is why I'm so excited for Shadows of the Erdtree. If the DLC is an entire second helping of Elden Ring, then we are in for major changes. New weapons, new Ashes of War, new armor, and massive shakeups, especially in PvP. And furthermore, chances are high that we will all be running through the game with our quote friends who we swear exist. Well, when that happens, I don't want to die to some sucker invader. I want to be sharp and finish my playthrough so I can get all the juicy items. I want to be ready for a fight. I also want to be there to invade all those people coming back to cheese the new levels with their over-leveled assistants. I will be the balance Miyazaki intended in the game. Many people also speculate the DLC may include things like increasing the player limit, specialized PvP areas, covenants, etc. to increase the long-term viability of the PvP. And this, my friend, is the biggest reason you should engage these systems in a more thoughtful way. Because if you love Elden Ring, long after the last boss has been slain, long after the fastest speedrunner has got negative 10 seconds personal best, long after all the PvEers are gone, I'll be in the new Ring City hosting. You might be thinking the game balance is garbage, the hitboxes don't make sense, the latency is bad, and the game sucks. But slowly breaking down a 1v3 trying to spam wing scythe and other imbalanced nonsense is my new idea of a good time. Smashing baby gankers with America's Hammer is hilarious. Letting a cute host go is endearing. And that's why this idea is genius. Invasions aren't just a fight, they are an interaction. I'm proud of the skills I have. I want to improve them even more. I'm not saying you need to aspire to be like me or any other gamer. I'm not saying that you need to spend hours every day to get better at the game. But the satisfaction you can get from winning even a single well-executed invasion is a feeling that you'll want to go back to. It's my hope that I can bring more players into Elden Ring PvP and convince others who might leave to stay. Invading is more than a fun weekend activity. It's a culture. One of the greatest things about the internet is finding communities of people that share your nerdy interests. And as a newer YouTube channel, I want to thank those of you who watch my videos, like them, comment on them, and subscribe. Simultaneously, I want to thank all of the creators who have helped me become a better invader and welcome me to what is, contrary to popular belief, a wholesome, welcoming, and caring community of gamers. I hope you enjoy invasion content, because it's my intent to create a new series about invasion tips, builds, and ways of approaching the fascinating fun PvP that Elden Ring has to offer. Did this take all my skill to win? Probably. Did I have to get very lucky to win? Yes. Were these people competent? Chances are no. But it's possible. But I'm thrilled with the way I fought it. Once the first domino falls, the others will follow. Learning to invade, it's all about being patient. Not with an invasion, but with invading. I have a feeling that if you appreciate Elden Ring, your appreciation will only deepen once you consider the merits of its PvP and rededicate your efforts as we look forward to the future of the game. At this point, there's no way I'm gonna lose. I didn't spend 5 hours in the duelist coliseum against a bunch of hardcore motherfuckers to lose to a Moonveil spamming. GG's.